it was the case that gripped the world and will likely have everlasting consequences for Beef Wellington. Shortly, we'll talk to an Australian criminal psychologist about the infamous mushroom murders, but first, a look back at the case. Erin Patterson, a 50-year-old Australian, world famous for her cooking, and now a convicted triple murderer, found guilty after a 9-week trial of murdering 3 relatives and attempting to murder another by serving up a lunch of beef Wellington laced with death cap mushrooms. Her friend leaving court surrounded by reporters.
How are you feeling?
I'm saddened, and it is what it is. Thank you.
Did you have a chance to talk to Erin, though?
No.
Did you think that Erin was capable of something like this? She's a triple murderer.
Were you expecting your friend to be found not guilty?
I didn't have any expectations. It's the justice system, and it has to be what it is.
The case attracted global attention, the world's media descending on Morwell in regional Victoria. The scene's a stark contrast to the rural setting where the crime took place in July 2023.
With some of the best people I've ever met, they never did anything wrong to me, and I'm so devastated about what's happened.
Death cap mushrooms killing Erin's lunch guests. Just released footage showing her leaving hospital against medical advice 2 days after serving up the deadly meal, and showing doctors examining the leftovers. Police pleading with people to remember the victims.
I think it's very important that we remember that we've had 3 people. 3 people have died, and we've had a person that nearly died and was seriously injured as a result, and that has led to these charges. I ask that we acknowledge those people and not forget them.
Australians not at all surprised by the guilty verdicts.
It wasn't shocking. We knew that it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time getting caught.
She was always guilty in my eyes, no matter what.
As the world waits for word from her legal team to see if there will be an appeal,
How's she feeling, Colin? Are you expecting to appeal, Mr. Mayor? Will you be appealing this verdict?
Erin Patterson has spent her first night at a maximum security prison. Prosecutors didn't offer any specific motive for the killings, which has left a lot of us trying to figure out what was Erin Patterson thinking? Why? Tim Watson-Munro is a criminal psychologist with us live this morning. Tim, good morning.
Good morning.
For me, that's the most intriguing thing. I mean, the how was fascinating, bizarre, but the why? Why the why?
Well, I think we're yet to find that out, Ryan. I don't know that she's been psychiatrically or psychologically evaluated, but from what I've read about this case, clearly there were internecine tensions between Erin Patterson and her extended family. One can only assume that this was a crime that was driven by unbridled anger and hatred. She knew what she was doing. I think in common parlance you would say that she was bad, not mad. There was no mental state defence available to her. But I think with the effluxion of time we may learn more about her motivation.
Do people like this think, they'll never suspect me, if I do it in a beef Wellington, I'm home free?
Well, she certainly thought that, and very much to her detriment, and the tragic loss of 3 lives, an attempted murder and so on. She took great steps to cover her tracks. There was a strong consciousness of guilt, in my view, in terms of trying to get rid of IT data, denying where she'd been, telling lies about various aspects of her life at that time. So she thought she would get away with it, but the jury has found that she was guilty.
And the waterworks as well. I mean, it was quite the show she put on, quite the display she put on outside of her house for reporters. And, you know, in my mind, when somebody does that, I think, yeah, you're probably guilty.
Well, you can never tell by people's reactions, but some would say they were crocodile tears. I've listened to some of the interviews with body language experts that say that it was all a bit of a farce, but no doubt she'll be crying now. She'll be looking at a very long sentence, I imagine.
Was it a shock to you at all?
No. There was some talk about, look, the defence barrister, Colin Mandy, an eminent senior counsel in Melbourne, highly regarded, and there was a lot of talk for a while that maybe he was creating reasonable doubt that may see her walk. I didn't think that would occur. I thought the evidence was, when it's all pieced together and you join the dots, there's so many coincidences, so many lies, I would have been very surprised if she was acquitted.
Likelihood of an appeal, do you think?
I would say so, but that's a matter for her legal representatives.
Is it common for partners to want to kill their spouses?
I think a lot of partners might think about it from time to time, but I'm not sure that it's common. People might have homicidal thoughts, but this was a very calculated series of events that resulted in the death of 3 people and the near death of another. And the people that died, by the way, suffered agonising deaths. It was a horrible, cruel end for those individuals.
Is there something inside a brain that takes it from, somebody who gets frustrated with their partner, wants to lash out, but does nothing, and Erin Patterson? What is the difference?
Well, that's yet to be determined. As I've said, I don't think that she's insane in a medico-legal sense. She knew what she was doing. She planned it. She covered her tracks, she thought, as best she could. What triggered this, who knows? But it seems to me that there was a lot of frustration and anger surrounding what was going on in the family and going on in her divorce and so on. But she's certainly not somebody who is out of touch with reality, Ryan. She had no delusions of the mind that we know of. I've not seen any psych reports that would suggest that. But of course, I haven't examined her, so it's speculative at some level.
You've got to feel sorry for the ex-husband and the kids, eh?
My heart goes out to all those victim survivors. To think that your parents died that way, other family members died that way, and this has been ongoing now for 2 years. There's never closure, never closure in cases like this, but one would hope that the finding of the court might help with some resolution in terms of their grief.
Tim, what could this do to the brand of beef Wellington recipes?
Very good question. Whenever I go to dinner now, people sort of raise their eyebrows when there's mushrooms in the dish. But I think beef Wellington will move on. This case will move on. This is one case, and it's not a bad dish, actually.
You're going to keep eating it, Tim?
I will, yeah.
Thanks for being with us. Tim Watson-Munro.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Ryan.
Criminal psychologist from Australia.